So I think we can probably finish this up. Got 10 slides left. So we are in the Roberts Court now, and it's called the Roberts Court because it's led by Chief Justice John Roberts. The Chief Justice, any Chief Justice gets the court named after him. And he's been Chief Justice since 2005. He sits on the court with Ketanji Brown Jackson, who was a Biden appointee, Clarence Thomas, who is a Bush senior appointee, Neil Gorsuch, Trump appointee, Elena Kagan and Sonia Sotomayor, Obama appointees, Samuel Alito, Bush Jr., and Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett, both Trump appointees. Now, this isn't even a question. All these names will be on your next test. So remember them. I'm not going to ask you about who appointed who, but when I say there are 9 justices on the Supreme Court, name them, please, and give you a big list of names you need to know. So put faces to names, rather. That is Justice Jackson, Justice Clarence Thomas, Justice Elena Kagan, Chief Justice John Roberts, Justice Alito, Justice Amy Coney Barrett, and Justice Kavanaugh. And last but not least, I'm one slide fast on that, Justice Gorsuch, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who went on Sesame Street. Okay, I wasn't fast. That is it. So we'll look at a few cases that the Roberts Court have tried. So Hamdan versus Rumsfeld, I would certainly remember. So Salim Ahmed Hamdan was the petitioner in this case, meaning he brought the suit. Donald Rumsfeld, who was the Secretary of Defense in the Bush Jr. administration, was the respondent. The facts of the case are these. Salim Ahmed Hamdan worked as Osama bin Laden's chauffeur. He was his former chauffeur at this time. He was captured by Afghani forces and was imprisoned by the United States military in Guantanamo Bay. He filed a petition for a writ of habeas corpus in federal district court to challenge his detention. Before the district court ruled on the petition, he received a hearing from a military tribunal which designated him an enemy combatant. Later on, the district court granted Hamdan's habeas petition and said that he must first be given a hearing to determine whether he was a prisoner of war under the Geneva Convention. And the Geneva Convention is kind of the rules of war before he could be tried by a military commission. The Circuit Court of Appeals reversed the decision of the district court, finding that the Geneva Convention could not be enforced in federal court, so the rules of war could not be enforced in a federal court in the United States, and that the establishment of military tribunals had been authorized by Congress and was therefore not unconstitutional. So the district court ruled in favor of Hamdan's petition. The circuit court, when it got there, they reversed, said no. So the questions this case raised were as follows. May the rights protected by the Geneva Convention, again the rules of war, be enforced in federal court through habeas corpus petitions? Question 2. Was the military commission established to try Hamdan and others for alleged war crimes in the War on Terror authorized by the Congress or the inherent powers of the President? Now the answers are yes and no. They ruled 5-3, and John Paul Stevens authored this decision. They held that neither an act of Congress nor the inherent powers of the executive laid out in the Constitution expressly authorized the sort of military commission at issue in this case. So absent that express authorization, the commission had to comply with the ordinary laws of the United States and the laws of war. And the Geneva Convention, as a part of the ordinary laws of war, could therefore be enforced by the Supreme Court, along with the statutory Uniform Code of Military Justice, which I had to read in graduate school and have no desire to do so again. Hamdan's exclusion from certain parts of his trial, deemed classified by the Military Commission, violated both of these, the laws of war and the statutory Uniform Code of Military Justice. And the trial was therefore illegal. Justices Scalia, Thomas, and Alito dissented. Chief Justice John Roberts, who participated in the case while serving on the D.C. District Court of Appeals, did not take part in the decision. Justices work on different lower courts when the Supreme Court's not in session, and it's, I don't want to say common, but it's not unusual for a justice to have heard a case and ruled on a case in one of these lower courts that come to the Supreme Court. Justices will usually, but there's no, they don't have to, but they usually recuse themselves if they've heard a case before, so as not to prejudice their fellow justices or sway a ruling. Because if you've ruled one way one time, well, if you hear it again, you're probably going to rule the same way. So this is Hamdan. And the video that it takes you to is called Quimby. The channel is called Quimby. Now, for the rest of this class, there are going to be court cases that are relevant and that you should remember. So Quimby is going to be your friend. All right. The YouTube channel. I would save it, subscribe to it, whatever you need to do. So this will be an assignment, but not this second. So we are done with the Supreme Court. I hope it wasn't too painful. Yeah, that's it. So we will be moving on. And that's what I've got to say. All right, bye.